welcome to another episode of ArtCo Drone Solutions Saturday Night Live, number 105.9 on your dial. I want to say hello to all you folks in the chat. We've got Rick Halber, Tom Tentoes, Glenn Thunderbird 6, DumbTube. And then we've got Steve Mack, Akira Show, Jerry Bauer, and all the rest. Thank you for coming in, guys. Let's start the show going. Let's do On This Day in History. Let's do it. On this day in history. 2080, Japanese imperial court orders all temples and shrines to pray for the victory in the impending Mongol invasion. 1472, Orkney and Shetland are left by Norway to Scotland due to a dowry payment. 1525, Swiss and German mercenaries desert Francois Lille's army. 1547, King Edward VI of England crowned following the death of his father, King Henry VIII. Now, how does that work out? The sixth following... Anyway, that's goofy. 1613, Gerhard Reinst appointed Governor General of Dutch East Indies. 1619, trial against Johann von Oldenbarnevelt begins in The Hague for alleged crimes against the federal government. 1653, the Dutch defeat of the Dutch fleet by Admiral Van Tromp by Admiral Blake of Portsmouth. 1673, the first recorded wine auction held in London. Also on this date, in 1942, Singapore falls to the Japanese. That was on this day in history. Let's go to film and TV. 1944, Batman and Robin comic strip premieres in the newspapers. 1952, African Queen, directed by John Huston, starring Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn, is released in the U.S. 1956, WOSU TV channel 34 in Columbus, Ohio, PBS, begins broadcasting. 1971, National Emergency Center erroneously orders U.S. and radio and TV stations to go off the air. The mistake wasn't resolved for 30 minutes. 1978, the fourth People's Choice Awards. John Wayne and Barbra Streisand win motion picture, and James Garner and Mary Tyler Moore win for television. 1978, Bob Backlund beats superstar Billy Graham in New York to become the WWF Wrestling Champion. 1979, the 29th Berlin International Film Festival. David wins the Golden Bear. 1983, the 25th Daytona 500. Third win in the event for Cale Yarborough. First time an in-car camera goes to victory lane before the national CBS Sports audience. All right, in music, 1940, Larry Clinton and his orchestra record Limehouse Blues. 1959, Jimi Hendrix, 16 years old, rock and roll guitarist, plays his first gig in the Temple of the Hirsch Synagogue basement, Seattle. He is fired from the band after the first set due to wild playing. 1965, Beatles record That Means a Lot. Unhappy with the results, it was given to PJ Proby to record. The Beatles version was not released until 1996 on Anthology 2. 1977, My Fair Lady closes at St. James Theater, New York City after 384 performances. Alrighty, let's go to sports. (1919) Foundation NHL Club Toronto arenas are permitted to cease operation due to financial difficulties. Later to become the Toronto St. Patrick's and then the Maple Leafs. 1923, future Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher Christy Mathewson becomes president and owner of the Boston Braves, buys the team for $300,000 with New York attorney Judge Emil Fuchs and Bostonian James McDonough. 1926, Montreal and Ottawa battle out just the second 0-0 tie in NHL history. Dominant goalies are Clint Benedict of the Maroons and Alex Connell of the Senators. 1929, Boston Red Sox announced they will play Sunday MLB games at Braves Field, Fenway Park, located too close to a church. 1952, Emmett Ashford is certified to be the first black umpire in the organized baseball. Has to wait until 1966 for Major League Baseball debut. 1952, Britain's Jeanette Altweg wins the Olympic women's figure skating gold medal at the Oslo Winter Games ahead of American Tenley Albright, who goes on to win in Cortina d'Ampezzo in 56. 1952, American alpine skier Andrea Mead Lawrence is the only multi-gold medalist at the Oslo Winter Olympics when she wins the slalom after taking out the inaugural giant slalom. And that is all on this day in history. Alrighty, we've got a great show today. We're going to talk about the polar vortex that put a damper on some drone flying in Texas and Arkansas. Although there were a few flyers that did get a chance to fly out and show us the awesome wintry blast down in the southern part of this country where they don't see weather like this. They actually got to 0 or below 0 down there. I want to welcome Michael McReynolds, Zawalinsky, Mike Roach Media, hey Mike, and Robbie RC in Belgium, all the way from Europe. Mike Roach, you know what? I will send you a link if you would like to come on to keep me busy for a while. Okay. Alrighty, Mike, I'm sending it off to you. Hopefully you could pop in and keep me company for a while until others start jumping in. Drone Psyche, welcome to the show. So we had quite a weekend in last weekend. The early part of this week were temperatures, I mean, from Oklahoma on down to Texas and Arkansas, where they saw up to 10 inches of snow in some parts and 0 degrees in Dallas, Texas. And unfortunately, it knocked out power to most of Texas and caused a lot of pipes to freeze. So a lot of people were without power and without water. So, and then when they were able to get out of the house, the stores ran out of water and other items. So it was quite a mess down there for those folks. What else? I mean, it's just nasty cold here in the Denver area. It got down to 16 below last Monday, and it was cold. It was very cold. 82.4 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment. Oh, in what part of Australia are you located, Glenn? And it got down to minus 15 in, yep, Bartlesville area. Wow. So, yeah, I think, let's see, one day we broke the record low high of 1 degree, where the record was 8 degrees. Queensland. Okay, cool. So, where Ron Lockwood lives, they were down to 30 and 40 below zero up there. He was working in, where was that? Oh, Bismarck, North Dakota. Hey, let's welcome all the way from sunny Syracuse, New York. Let's welcome Mike Roach. Welcome, welcome.
Hey Art, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Chuck couldn't make it. He was having some audio issues. It was crazy. He came on more than a half hour before the show, and at first it was just really scratchy,
Right.
and then he was playing around with nothing. I
Huh.
couldn't hear anything. Yeah. So
Right.
hopefully he'll come back in later.
I know that I've had that happen before where my microphone was, plugged into my monitor and then it comes back to the computer, one of those type of things. And I just plugged it right into the computer now. So, but people have so many sophisticated setups. I like to keep it simple.
Yeah. Yep. That's true. Simple. Less is more.
Right.
So
Yeah. So I was
always
just watching
so.
your video about the remote control car earlier.
Oh
That was
yeah.
pretty, that thing
Yeah.
was pretty tough,
Yeah. Mhm.
and
Yeah. It really hauls ass. I'm just surprised and how it handled the snow. It handled
right.
pretty good, except the deeper snow. It kind
Yeah.
of got high centered, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it helps to have a stick around, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Never underestimate
Well,
what you can do with a stick.
yeah. Here's my next project. This is
Uh,
the stunt elf,
oh wow, that's
and
pretty
it's
cool
got
looking.
wheels very similar to the RoboMaster, so it goes sideways,
Oh right.
forwards, and backwards. So I'll be doing a video probably tomorrow morning, and we're supposed to get some snow tonight, so that'll be really cool to
Yeah.
see how well it handles in the snow.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting some right now. My driveway had to be plowed with about 6 inches or so this morning, and
Yeah.
right now it's snowing out pretty good again. So coming off of Lake Ontario, but it's just normal. You know how it is. Normal for you too.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say hello to Jody, Drone Shots, and Michael from Tet's Arch Drone Guy.
Right, Mike McReynolds. Yeah, so I got a little COVID scare going on here, Art. Uh,
Uh-oh.
I'm not. I feel fine, but I may have been around somebody who uh, has been around somebody who stayed, at a house where some people had it. So I'll know in a couple days. Hopefully, I don't get anything, but there's a slight chance. But I'm not too worried about it. But everybody comes near me now, I've got to tell them like it's up to you if you want to come over or whatever, but do it at your own peril.
Oh man. Yeah, and I
So
finally got a haircut today, so boy, it feels nice to have a haircut. But you don't have
yeah,
that problem, do you?
no, well, I have all the hair on my head. I could let it grow out if I wanted to, but I do like a military buzz cut every 2 weeks, just
Oh,
buzz
okay.
it down to nothing. But they're all there, real thick hair. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Everyone thinks I'm bald when they see me on the camera.
Right.
So,
Okay.
and it just saves time in the morning, not messing
Yeah.
with it. I save a good 20 minutes. I used to think I was like David Lee Roth or something in the mirror when I was in my 20s. Wasted more time with the Aquanet and on my hair. It was stupid. But
Well, at least you didn't use Gorilla Glue like
right,
some lady that you heard
yeah,
about that. I guess
yeah.
she wanted the extra hold.
I think a little publicity stunt there, if you ask me. So
Yeah. What was? Oh, her name was Tessica. Hmm. Okay. I want to say hello to Chris, Sunrise Water Media. Welcome to the show. So yeah, the weather's just been really wacky, and then when we got some warm weather, it's windy. That's because we get what's called Chinook winds. That's where we get winds that come down the mountain, and when you get that downslope, it warms up, and it's not really good for flying, depending on how bad the gusts are.
now, why does it warm up when it comes down?
Well, because it's picking up energy as it's coming down, the force of gravity, and it's picking up energy. Now, when you get wind going the other way, where you get upslope,
Right.
it takes that uh, warm, moist air and it goes up to cooler uh, air and it turns into snow.
Okay. Right.
Yep.
Oh, huh. That's cool. So now, what about the other side of the mountains, the western side of the Rockies? Does that block weather from coming in, or how does that work?
Oh no, they'll get storms coming from the west or from the north that'll bring weather to them. So
Mhm.
uh, they
No.
tend to be warmer than we are because they're lower because well that's the Colorado River is going that way.
Right.
All right, so Chuck is back. Let's see if it works this time.
Working?
You
Yeah.
sound great.
Sound good, Chuck.
Now I can't hear you guys.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh, I'm so close. I see you smiling and nodding, and oh,
No audio, huh? Huh.
technology's great when it works. Mike, I'm gonna get this to work, man. I promise.
uh,
All right, stay tuned. I'm going back. I'm going back.
okay. So I imagine James is probably having his waffles right now. So he'll probably be coming in a little later. So,
Does he do waffles on Saturday
yeah, he
nights?
does waffles.
Oh, the guy in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's right to be morning for him.
Yeah, it is. Let's see. It is about uh, 8:30 in the morning right now.
Right.
Yeah. They're 15 hours ahead of us. And then when
Right.
we spring forward, then it's 14-hour difference. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. The other,
So
literally the other side of the world.
yep.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask him what's going on with Lake Taal because I hear the volcano is puffing some smoke. So, and I heard it from Robbie RC. He has connections to the Philippines. All right, now let's bring in Chuck. And
It
you got
worked.
it working? You hear us?
Yeah.
Got audio now?
Oh, you guys are killing me. You can't hear me?
I
You're
can hear
messing
you.
with me.
Art's phone, you're like,
Well, it's been an sorry to break in whatever you guys were talking about. For the last, it's been an hour, hour and a half I've been fighting with this thing.
Oh no, it wasn't that long. Well, yeah, maybe an hour ago when you
Dear
popped in
Lord.
and you sounded really scratchy,
Fuzzy.
fuzzy.
yeah.
Well, what happened was my big computer that I use for editing and stuff, the motherboard had a problem. I had to send it back to Asus.
Oh,
So they have it. So I'm using my nice, super cool HP Spectre that I bought myself for Christmas.
oh, nice.
Yeah, but the audio was all messed up. So it took me like an hour and a half to figure it out. I never tried it before.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
And it's crazy. You do everything from a huge computer to an iPhone to get on StreamYards. It's amazing.
I do have it set up on my phone, but I didn't want to use the phone. I thought that would be, well, crappy.
Right. And I think you get a different aspect ratio or something, you know.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think I can change stuff a little bit. There we go.
Yeah. Sometimes Mitchell come into the show and he's on his iPhone or his Apple phone, and he can't see the chat. And
Right.
I think the last time he came in, he did the iPhone. He had the YouTube on his TV, so he could see the chats coming in.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck, I found one of your old photos uh, on YouTube, and where did I put that? Oh, I know where I put it.
What kind of photo is it?
Alrighty.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Alrighty. Let's share a screen.
Ah,
Yep.
And there's
Yep.
Chuck. I mean, look at the resemblance. Little Chucky.
oh God.
I don't think the gap though. I actually had braces in my 40s.
Oh,
What is that guy's
But I
name
didn't have
again? The cartoon character?
Alfred E. Newman, isn't
Newman,
it?
yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
God.
Yep.
Is that
Thanks, Art.
still around? Is
No,
Mad
I
Mad
think
Magazine still published?
Mad Magazine? I don't
I
know. Is
think they
it?
stopped publishing.
Yeah.
I remember No Frills Airways back in what, the 70s. My sister had the magazine, and they had a you couldn't pack any. They charged you by the pound for luggage, so everybody wore all their clothes in layers. It's like
Right.
it's actually not far from where we are today with flying.
Yeah.
Oh, and they had great characters like Spy versus Spy.
I don't
Hmm.
remember Spy versus Spy.
Oh, you
Yeah.
had the black spy, and
Can
then
you
you
pull
had
those
the
up
white
on?
spy that looks just like him, only and they were always trying to get each other.
Can we like? Oops, I keep doing that. I was
Hmm.
wondering. Mad Magazine. Can I
God, I
find
remember
it?
we used to look at it in the 70s there, but
Yep.
we never read it. We just thumbed through it, and didn't
Hmm.
pay much attention.
Yep.
Little too
Oh,
highbrow for me.
what were those? What were those cards that were like parody cards? Remember they came with the
Oh
bubble
yeah.
gum.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. I remember they had like really weird sayings like "bon ami" and
yeah,
yeah, it
wacky
was
packs. You were wacky
yes.
packs.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
those were good stuff.
And Chuck, you have the same last name or similar last name to one of my old comedians, Ernie Kovacs.
Yes, I've heard this before. I don't have the S at the end, but yep,
Yeah.
Ernie.
Hmm.
I don't think I picked up any of his humor whatsoever.
Aha.
You know, well, Mike, I
Yep.
haven't seen too much on. Sorry,
Oh.
I haven't seen too much of his
Any
stuff.
videos or anything? I
Yeah.
haven't. I haven't put anything up in a few weeks. Um, I've done a few of the live things with art a little bit on like Sunday,
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
but you know, just kind of. I've still got old footage from even a couple years ago to edit when I've got some stuff from Clark's Reservation,
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
there, and that was from this fall. But a whole bunch of church steeples that I've got over the last couple of years that maybe I'll try and edit together for Easter. You know,
Oh, that'd be cool.
all
Yeah.
around the city. But
I gotta. It's been kind of cold. I don't art. It's been like we were really frigid, and now it's kind of just snowy and messy, and I don't know. I'll fly in really, really light snow. I don't know about you, Mike, but fly in really, really light snow, but it's
yeah,
crazy.
right. The drone can handle it better than I can. That's the thing with me.
Yeah. I
Flying with
start to
stuff.
I start to shake with the sticks, like
Hmm.
getting steady and
Yeah,
cinematic.
I did the ice rink downtown last year, not this past, but 2019, and but I stayed in the vehicle flying the drone. I could see it and
Ooh,
everything, and I
yeah.
was only maybe 80 feet in the air, maybe tops most of the time, and so, but yeah, I don't do well with the snow, but I'm looking forward. When spring comes, we're not that far off, and
Yeah, that's true.
things will change.
Hmm.
But I'm hoping to do a little more still photography this year as opposed to videos,
Yeah.
both
Yeah,
with
you
the
still
drone and a camera,
I'm
regular
trying to
camera.
get my wife into photography. Actually, she was gifted an A6600 for Christmas, which she better
Mm.
put to use.
Wow.
She
That's
said
You
she
know
wanted to
that.
get serious, so
that's
now
pretty serious.
she has no excuses now. She has a real camera. She
Oh, cool.
it's
There are a
do it
lot
or
of
get off the
skills in
pot, kind of.
photography.
What
What
was your
are
first camera ever, Chuck, in your life?
it? Oh, my first ever?
Ever?
It was okay. It was a Kodak. Oh, what was it? It was a something 110. It looked like a candy bar, and it used
Oh,
those really
yes,
skinny rolls of
yes. The
film.
Right, the
Instamatic.
Instamatic.
Instamatic 110. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
I had
I
one
used
of
to take
those.
that to scout camp because it was so
Wow.
small,
Yep.
pack
Yeah,
light.
they
But
were
you
kind
never
of
knew
the
what.
standard. You know, everyone had
Yeah.
those. Every family snapshots and stuff was those Kodak Instamatic cameras, and
That was the
they were
thing.
convenient.
Kodachrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Kodachrome.
had
I
a Kodak 127.
Hmm.
It was a lens reflex camera where you had to look down into the viewfinder.
Oh, like a
oh
brownie.
I remember those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had the little
And
pop
it
up.
was Well,
Well,
it popped up, and it had
yeah.
a thing where you could plug in a flash. You know, where you put the flash
Oh, the
bulb in.
cubes?
Not the cubes.
The single
It
Oh,
had
bulbs.
the regular light bulbs with the parabolic reflector that connected onto the
oh,
side,
Right.
and
yeah.
the film was it was bigger than 32 millimeter, but it was smaller than 120, so it was kind of in between
In
size.
between.
Right.
Yeah.
I like the flash bulbs. Those were good fun. I used to like to take a hammer to those things and detonate them.
The flash cubes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were a riot because they were done with a little impact. They had there's the little stem stuck out of the bulb and it had that little striker inside the camera. Remember the four cubes? Then they had the flip. Remember the flip flash where you had like six shots, and you take it out and flip it over, and you
Yep.
had like
Hmm.
six more or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, I think
All
Polaroid
right.
did those a lot with
Yep.
the SX70,
Oh yeah,
the
they
row
had
of
like a row of
bulbs.
flashes
The
Yeah.
row of
that's
balls
on the top. Yep. My
before we had
grandfather
our
had one of those
yeah.
Polaroid Instamatics or what land camera.
Oh man, the electronic strobe was such an advancement. But I think my first real camera was a Pentax SF10. That was the first real camera I had. That was
Yep.
35 millimeter, but it was actually a full SLR, the mirror and everything, and had a
Yep.
whole pile of lenses, and it never really got super serious.
Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I had
my
that
first
till
serious
forever.
camera was a Konica TC1 that was my grandfather's, and when he passed away, I got the camera, and then I traded that in and got the FS1, and that had the auto you know wind on it, so you
Right.
didn't have to click. I mean, all you had
Right.
to do is click, click. You know,
Yeah.
it had built-in winder in it, which was cool.
And with that
Oh,
Konica,
cool.
no autofocus, right? Back in those days.
I don't know. I don't think this one had
Yeah.
autofocus.
I can remember going into a camera shop, and I remember one of the companies started advertising autofocus for an SLR. And I asked the guy at the shop, and he looked at me like I was nuts. Like, there's no such thing. I'm like, well, I saw it on TV in a commercial. And then sure enough, it's hard to find anything now that's not autofocus.
Yeah,
But
yep. But the autofocus works so well now.
oh, it's awesome.
Everything's
Hmm.
awesome now. It's like it's almost a shame to use manual, but you have to for videography, not so much. Well, you do for
Right.
photography too, if you're going to do like long exposures and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's
what
something.
when I did stand-up comedy, I bought one of those VHS uh, video cameras.
Oh, yeah, they were
Yeah,
really
lugged
small,
that around the
like a
country, and
great big.
yeah, it was a
Yes.
big thing. It was about this big, and yeah,
Art, did you have the one that was it actually a camcorder? Or did you have to carry the recorder part of the VCR on like on your shoulder?
no,
Because I
we
remember
actually
there
did
was
the
a Scoutmaster that
recording
had
in that. Yeah,
yeah, there was a Scoutmaster who had that where he had the camera that was already huge, and then it was
yeah,
wired up to the recorder that was another great big. It was basically wearing a VCR on your shoulder, so he had all this
yeah,
crap, and he's like they're filming everything, and then it had like then the batteries were like it's kind of like a car battery on
yeah.
his other side.
Right. Oh,
The guy
Well, I
wasn't
had one
fat,
of
and I know
those
why.
heavy duty tripods, and I would take that to the comedy club so I could get promo video.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh
funny. We
man.
all went through those phases and, went from that to the little palm camcorders, palm
Yeah,
size.
the high
And now
eight.
it's like your phone
Yeah, high
does what
eight.
that does, except for the
Yeah.
zoom. There isn't much zoom, but, it's something. And I've still got some old video cassettes that are like the micro video cassettes.
Yep.
And,
VHS-C?
no, not those. It's a smaller than that even. But I don't have the camera anymore that played on. But I think I did record that onto a VHS tape that I still have on VHS.
Mike, if you have Video 8 stuff, I actually bought a Video 8 High 8 DAC that I
Oh, high
used.
eight,
Like I had to capture all my stuff from my old the camcorder you're speaking. I had the Sony Video 8. It wasn't High 8, it was Video 8. And I used
right?
that thing up until I don't know, 90 something, 98, 99 around
Something
there.
like this.
Yeah, man. I got
Yeah.
all right.
I've still got several of these. Hopefully, one of these days I'll, if I could find somebody that could digitize these.
Come all the way. I can. If it plays, I can. Send
Oh.
it out here. I'll capture it.
You know those
Use
boxes
this
that
use this
people
wonderful thing right here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
in those boxes that you see advertised all the time, like send in your box and it
Oh,
will
legacy bots.
yeah. I've heard some
Yeah.
horror stories about those things of people
The
getting their film back ruined and stuff like that. And I don't know anybody personally, but I looked it up thinking, oh, that's a good idea. And I was like, geez, sometimes your films are just unplayable if it's old
Some-
like
the
8 millimeter
gets very
film.
brittle. The videotape
Yeah.
gets very, very brittled.
Mhm.
I was lucky to get a lot of my stuff captured, and I could get bits of it that were salvageable. And I put some of it on YouTube, actually. Did some stuff
There
with me
you
and my
go.
wife when we were like dating and threw them up there, but I should really do more with that
Oh,
stuff.
roll
But
it
Yeah.
out.
oh, it's funny. We were vlogging back in like the 90s. We were vlogging fools. And it was like, but the zoom in, with the camcorder then, when you zoomed in, it was like,
All
there
right,
was
we
nothing
got
smooth
another
about it.
special guest, all the way from Huntington, Tennessee. Let's welcome Ken Boom Boom Heron.
Hey,
Hey, Ken.
hey, Ken.
Not worthy. Not worthy.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
we're-
No. No. Oh, it's
Okay,
on my end, though.
it-
I'm
because-
kidding.
And I got it. Okay, I'm just kidding. Hey, you were talking about the video transfers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you watch TNL with my ex-wife?
Yes. we
No.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I
that
was busy. I
funny.
missed it.
Oh, it's one for
Wow.
the books. But I transferred a bunch of our old stuff from like this is what is this?
Video 8.
Is it 8 Super 8 or whatever Sony whatever the hell.
I8, maybe.
8, yeah, it's 8. And then I got a whole bunch of stuff. Now I wanted to. This is mini DV.
Oh,
I remember
I've got one of
those.
Remember
I
those?
never-
Well, I had a
Yeah.
wonderful camera, and I was all set to transfer some more stuff. Well, it's in my garbage can now because the tape, and I had this is a great camera. I had one of these cameras,
Yep.
JVC,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember those.
thing like that, and then this comes open like that, and you're like, hey, look how cool I am! Look how small this camera is. Well,
Is that a Sony
it's a JVC.
JVC?
Yeah, JVC.
Sony made one similar to that I had to.
I've had this for
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
And it's always worked for me until yesterday when I tried to put a tape in and it wouldn't go down. And so this sticker here where it says don't push down, I was like, well, what the hell? I'll push down. So, well, I broke it.
Uh-oh.
And so now it's
Now
garbage.
you'll have to go
Oh.
on eBay and find one.
That's
Yeah,
what I did
mine-
yesterday. I went on eBay and I spent $88 on another one. So
Nice.
All right. Congrats.
Nice.
thanks, but that's not why I'm
Mike-
calling.
Why are you
Okay.
calling?
I'm calling because
Oh.
Oh.
Autel Evo.
put the eyeballs
yeah.
on it too.
Oh, the eyeball.
Yeah, I see that.
And
Nice.
Cool.
And a nice stroby strobe.
I like it. Damn it.
Is that the,
It's
the
complete-
Evo 2?
Yeah, it's Evo 2 Pro 6K. And
It's
Okay.
what's that?
sorry. it's completely the opposite of your FPV stuff. That's like a Boeing 747 compared to like a
Oh yeah,
fighter
this is
jet.
I call this the flying orange brick.
It is.
It's not a pretty drone, but it doesn't need to be.
Oh, they're very nice.
I'm going to be flying it at night tomorrow to
Cool.
see how it does. But
Hence the strobe.
yeah, I'm doing some test rendering, up-resing from 6K to 8K to YouTube because YouTube won't display 6K. It'll only do 4 and 8 for some reason. So you have to up-res from 6 to 8. You know, that's the realm of the Red camera. But
Now, what upload speeds are you getting now, Ken? I saw you do the 5G test one day. That was pretty fast.
Here at my house, I get 1,000 down and 42 up.
Okay, so pretty fast.
Which is enough for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I did a 6K and 4K render test. Where can I put a link?
You could put it in the YouTube.
Over in the YouTube?
You probably have a wrench, Mr. Heron.
That's the
wow. We have like 3 Syracuse guys on here.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh, that's right. Ken was a Syracuse guy.
Yeah, he doesn't like to admit it much, but yeah.
Oh, there
I love Syracuse. Yeah.
We're the same age too, Ken. I've told you that before.
You're 41? Awesome.
No.
You are
39
a couple
You are
days.
3 months older than me. You're born in August, and I'm October of the same year.
How is your hair dark, you son of a bitch?
I don't know. It's genetics, man.
You and Dana Williams, his hair is jet black, and he's 6 years older than I am.
It ain't right, but you have it all, Ken. So that's good, man.
Yeah, I'd rather it just. It's still dark in here. I'd rather it just go Anderson Cooper white and just be done with it.
I don't know. That's the rebel section of your head right there. It's the rebel section.
Well, the back of it is darker, I think. Is it darker?
Right,
yeah.
See, now why couldn't that stuff be up front?
I don't know. You keep that out of the sun or something.
But you know what? The hair on my back is jet black.
Go figure. Why is that? I can't.
I don't know. So far, I haven't had any gray pubes yet. I think that's when I'll hang it up. Got any gray pubes there? You got any gray pubes?
Well, no,
Mike Roche, you got any gray pubes?
Chest hairs.
I'd have to kill you if I told you.
Oh. I tell you what, that's a bad day. That's a bad day. Like, no! I remember
in my late 20s.
My first gray arm hair. I remember that day. That was like, oh hell, and I plucked it, and then just after a while, the hell with it. Then my first
like
gray
beard
hair. So far, armpit, and I know everybody's interested. Armpit hair still good. All the gray seems to be up here.
Yeah, it starts up here. Sometimes here first, like me. It's here first.
Yeah. Anyway,
funny. Tomorrow's my manscaping day, as a matter of fact. The armpit hair goes, and I'm gonna get my head buzzed tomorrow, and anything else that needs doing.
Maybe don't vlog. Maybe don't vlog that, Mike.
Yeah, pull back on that unless you want a bunch of marriage proposals. Hey, does anybody have one of these?
I have the Evo 1.
How the propellers come off?
No, I still have the old trusty Mavic 2.
Oh, you push down. Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, remember DJI copied them and got busted for it or something.
Oh, that's right.
Right? There was a copyright or patent infringement deal. Battle of the Chinese manufacturers. Before
I go, raise your hand if you think Autel is an American company. Okay, good. You're well informed because it's not.
Yep.
But they're not really crap either,
Crap. No, it's actually I've flown it for a total of 7 minutes, and so far so good.
I heard you can't really the gimbal's tough to the gimbal smoothness isn't easy to set on those from what I've heard. So like you can slow the gimbal down, but it doesn't have that roll off where you let off the sticks and kind of
Yeah, I forget what that's called, but yeah, I know what you mean.
gimbal
But you can-
smoothness or something, I think it's called on
Yeah,
DJI.
you can set that smoothness. I mean, you can set it low and just be finessed with your finger. I don't like the remote.
Yeah,
Controller.
I'm so addicted. Damn it, I'm so addicted to this thing. Just
Yeah.
fucking love my smart controller. That's like
Yeah. Are you a pincher or a thumber?
I tried to pinch like you do, and I just suck at it. So I'll keep working at it.
Oh, that's all right.
Well,
What's
you're right. Pinching will work better, but I'm not sure how to like support the smart controller and pinch at the same time. You kind of have to like cradle it and pinch, I guess. This is getting very suggestive, but you know what I'm talking about, Ken.
First, you talk to it oh so sweetly, and then
Yes.
then you do a little pinching.
And you do
whisper
it
in
up.
his ear. I'm gonna drive you home.
Just a little pinch between your
That's-
teeth and gum.
But that's actually why I don't, because I end up holding the remote with like your fingers hold it back and your thumbs are left with the sticks. And how do you do it,
With
Master
what?
Heron?
with
A lanyard?
the auto.
How do you pinch? Well,
I can
any of them really.
There's not a remote that I can't pinch. There's not a controller I can't pinch.
All
can do
right.
It helps with a lanyard. Oh, I just got shot. It helps with a lanyard, and the Autel is doesn't have a lanyard.
Okay.
You can't, not a place for one. You can rig one up, but anyway. Speaking of dirty things, I just wanted to let you know. Is it all just us dudes watching? Let me check. I don't see any ladies
there
in
was
here.
Susan who was here earlier.
All right, Susan, look away
Yeah.
because
Susan Lee.
I want to show you where the battery goes.
Ooh.
It goes right in
2
there.
fingers.
Well, yeah.
3.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, this is a bad audience. Or bad. This is a bad panel right here. I'm bringing out the worst. I'm sorry. My
Ken,
wife
Will a
told me to
bowling pin
behave.
fit up there?
He must be over 18 to watch Art stream.
Ken,
That battery's like a
called-
brick, though, isn't it?
Oh
It's
yeah,
huge.
it's very heavy.
It looks like a phantom battery. It looks like a phantom battery that they shove in the back of that thing.
You know,
It's-
it's got-
dimensionally, it looks.
I don't have the battery here. It's downstairs charging because they only sent me one. Those bastards.
Same here.
But you know, like on the Mini, the contacts are close to the opening, ladies, and then
Yeah.
the battery it's like a giant mini battery, is what I'm saying,
Okay.
because the contacts are here and the battery kind of has a lip on it in there. But
I love
Anyway.
the doubles. There's like double side sensors. That thing is like it's kind of like it's like the family truckster from Vacation. You know, it has all the it's all
and it's
overdone.
really. I just turned them off. It's so annoying.
I heard they're sensitive. They're like really
Yeah.
overly sensitive.
Yeah, I was like 20 feet away from something. It's like, nope. So I just said, well, the hell with you. I've been flying for a while. I know how to crash into stuff. Just don't crash into
seen.
stuff. And you can't adjust the sensitivity of you can't say, well, give me obstacle avoidance 10 feet out or 5 feet out. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be
that
nice
would
for
be.
the next generation of stuff.
Yeah.
Would be good.
Anyway, so me and my new girlfriend, we're gonna go now.
Hey,
Ken,
It's so
Ken,
see how
dirty.
you are.
It's not, but it's dirty looking, isn't it? All right.
Ken, you know what do you call 2 lesbians in a closet?
What?
A liquor cabinet.
Oh,
Ah!
oh.
Do I dare do a
Welcome
lesbian
back.
joke? Or am I going to get in trouble? I might get in trouble. What kind of house construction do lesbians prefer?
Oh, God. Tongue and groove.
Tongue and groove, no studs. Yeah, that's an old one.
Right.
Okay, bye, weirdos.
Bye,
Oh, bye, Ken. Nice seeing you, brother.
You too, bye.
Don't be a stranger.
That's funny. That's cool. That thing's like a Cadillac. You know, it's huge.
It is. It's a monster drone. I like the orange, though. I'm
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like my Mavic 2 has the
It's
orange.
easy to see in the sky.
Yes, yes, that's exactly why this thing over here is the color it is for the same
Right.
reason.
Ah,
But I like how
Just
you didn't cover the whole thing.
yeah, I only want to see, I just want to highlight it so I can spot it. I don't want to cover the
Right,
whole damn
right.
thing.
there you
Yeah,
go. Kind
yeah,
of like
and it was
one of
cheaper.
those
It's
those
cheaper.
old fighters that they turn into drones so they could shoot missiles at them.
Oh yeah, it's
They would,
painted.
yeah, they would
Yeah,
paint them partly orange. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
like the old P-80s. Send them up there, and there goes a missile, and then you see it lopping a wing off the plane, and go.
We can get this one out without breaking something.
Hey, Grumpy Vlogger is here. Hey, Lloyd,
They have
good to
green
see you,
too.
and
It's the green
Jeff.
one. It's not as
Oh,
visible.
nice.
Not
Well,
as
you
visible.
that's Ken's color right there, Kawasaki green.
Yeah, Kawasaki green meets,
Yeah.
orange.
Now that's the Air 2?
They're both
The
Mavic 2s.
Mavic, okay, Mavic 2s.
Ah,
One,
Zoom and Pro,
two. No, they're both pros.
both pros.
I can't get this on the camera. That one, that one. They're both pros.
Mike, you know how you could tell they're a pro?
How's that?
You put the money on the dresser.
Yeah,
Nice.
right. And
Nice.
call Uber.
Nice.
How?
Well, that was cool that Ken stopped by. It's
Yeah.
not every day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever been on a stream with Mr. Heron before. Not like this.
Yeah,
It's
he
kind of special.
pops
Yeah,
in
he was
on
showing old home movies last week, last show, the show
Uh,
of him and his
Thursday.
ex-wife
Yeah,
running on the beach together and things like that.
yeah,
cool.
yep.
I gotta transfer a lot of my stuff.
Oh, thank you,
Well, I was
Ken.
gonna tell Ken. Oh, look,
Thank
it was
you
very nice of him. Look,
very much
threw
for
up
the super
$5.
chat.
Oh,
Very nice, man. No, I was gonna tell Ken that if he needs me to transfer any stuff, as long as it doesn't get stuck in the machine and break. I've had to splice up plenty recently because of the VHS tapes. They get pretty brittle. I had one of a rock band. It was like a local friend of mine who had a rock band called Iconoclasm back in the 90s, and his concert tape, it just got stuck. I had to wind it by hand. I went downstairs and I had the two pens in it, and I had to wind it by hand
Yeah.
slowly to get the rewind so
That's
I
how
could
you
play
know
it.
you're old.
Yeah, but I saved it and I actually did get it. I did manage to capture it. I was very proud of
Oh,
myself.
great. That's one.
I've
Oh,
actually got some
Chris.
cassette tapes from when I was about 12 years old from Phase Drugs. If you remember
Oh,
Phase Drugs.
Phase. Yeah, I
And
remember. I used to buy records there.
yeah, and right records, whatever. And a buddy
Yeah.
and I used with a regular just cassette tape recorder with the microphone with a little switch. We would make our own radio mystery theaters. Okay, with
Oh, fun.
just audio.
Yeah,
And I've actually still got a couple of them. And one time
yeah.
we were playing it, rewinding it, and it snapped when it rewound. So we took apart
Oh
a
no.
new cassette and put the roll in there.
Uh-huh.
Went through all this effort to save this precious stuff. I
Totally
gotta
worth it,
transfer
man.
those over.
Yeah,
All
the
right,
videotape's a little trickier to splice.
ladies
Yeah,
and
well,
gentlemen,
it
all
broke.
the
We
way
just we
from
just we
Lupa
didn't splice
City,
them. We just put
Philippines,
it in the reel.
James from My PI
Uh-oh.
Dream.
Oh,
Good morning,
Who
guys.
was it? Who
hey,
was that
Oh.
masked man?
Magadan Umaga.
Oh, well, let's see. Over here. Well, that guy up there
Maga
said earlier,
Umaga
he said
Day.
he might be
Birthday.
contagious. He
Right.
said he might be contagious. So I decided I'm going to be safe. I'm going to be safe
right.
again. Well, wait a minute. Chuck is directly underneath him, and I'm way to the corner. So I guess I'm social distance enough where I can
Right.
actually take all of this off here right now.
There
Whoa,
we go.
whoa.
Okay. All right. So I guess I'm safe. Man, Mike, I hope you didn't catch anything. I really
Yeah,
hope so.
we'll see. I'm loaded
Yeah.
up on vitamin D and vitamin C and zinc
Zinc.
and
Oh, now
magnesium.
he's
Oh.
Look at that. Nice. I like that.
So I'm not too worried about it. I just don't want to hurt anybody else. is the
Yeah,
main
well, you
thing,
should be worried about it for yourself and for others.
Right.
But anyway, I'm glad to see everybody here this morning. I was like number 2 in this morning, and waffle morning, and but let me tell you a little story. Can you handle it, Chuck?
Oh.
I can handle it. Under 20 minutes? Under 20 minutes?
Under a minute. Normally this is Waffle Sunday for us. Art knows that. And but this morning you have to listen to what your wife says when she wakes up every morning. At least I have to do that every morning.
We all do.
She has a dream. She has these dreams all the time, and I have to look and see if it's a smiley dream or a frowny dream on how the rest of my day is going to go. Anyway, this morning, Ness had a dream, and she said she dreamed she was somewhere where a bunch of kids were making really big pancakes, like huge, huge pancakes. And it was a long story. I had to listen to it. That was a long story. This won't be a long story here, though. So I said this morning, well, does that mean you want pancakes this morning instead of waffles? And she said, yeah, let's do, because she had a smile on her face, so that really meant we should do pancakes. So that's what we did. We made these huge, huge pancakes. She has these pans, but it's square, the big square pans. We made these huge, huge pancakes. Anyway, that was my story. And hopefully that's the longest one I give you today.
Whoa.
Were they
Really? That's it?
Awesome.
butt where you had to use the snow shovel
Yes.
to flip them over?
Yes. That's one of the best scenes ever.
I did. Not a snow shovel, but I had to use 2 spatulas to be able to flip it over, because when I tried to do the first one, it was like you know how you get a piece of New York style pizza and it kind of like folds up like that. Well, that's what was happening to my pancakes this morning.
Yeah.
Well,
Man, I wish I would've-
big giant spatulas.
I wish I would have got in earlier. You guys were in my neck of the woods of conversation when you were talking about those old-time cameras and video cameras and stuff like that. Because, when technology comes out, I was always the first guy to buy that latest and greatest little thing, even though it wasn't ready for prime time most of the time. I always got those, and I had to wait and buy something else later when it was improved. But I had I had all of those things. I was your scoutmaster, Chuck. I was the guy. I had the big Panasonic. You know the guys that when they landed on the moon and they planted the flag and they had all these umbilical cords cooked. That camera, the huge camera that was hooked. I was that guy. I had a Panasonic, and it was a box. It was a huge box that I had a shoulder strap that went to my side. And then the camera was one of these cameras about this long, Panasonic, that had a umbilical cord that went to that big box down there. And that's what had the battery was inside that unit down there. But I did that. I was in the first, and I will say that was probably back around, I'm going to say early 80s. I'm going to say around 80, 81, or about 82. Because my daughter was born in 82, and I have her all the way through till she became teens and moved out the house. So then I progressed from that to you guys were talking about 8. I skipped 8 mil and I went to high 8. I did the Sony high 8, yeah. And I still have it, and it still works. I still have it. It still works.
Oh, really?
And
mine doesn't. The capacitors blew up. The capacitors all leaked out and failed.
Yeah, well, I imagine it still works. The last time I used it, because what I was doing, I was transferring, and this was many years ago. I'm going to say 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
It's probably dead.
Well, I just put it. No, it doesn't even have a battery or anything like that.
Trust me, it doesn't matter. No, I'm serious, because I went through this a year ago when I wanted to finally capture all the Video 8 stuff I had with me and my wife when we were romping around doing like stupid vloggy stuff back in the 90s. And I went to power it up and turn on and went, and it turned out the capacitors had all failed.
It is amazing.
So I bought I went to eBay and I bought a Sony High 8 DAC with the S-Video out and everything, because I wanted to at least get S-Video out to capture the stuff. Because I have Super VHS too. That a lot of my tapes are Super VHS, so I have a 400 lines instead of 240. But no, I'm just warning you, James. Don't be surprised if the thing doesn't work. But
Well, I hope not, because I
hopefully
still
it does.
I
Well,
still
get
have
on it. It's a time bomb. Get on it. And the tapes are a time bomb too.
Well, I can't.
I mean,
They're back in the U.S. I don't have them over here in the Philippines. I'm gonna have to. We're supposed to go on a trip back to the U.S. To visit my dad and my sisters this summer. So I will grab all of that stuff. I'll stick it in a ballot buying box and ship it over here, and I'll
Yeah.
work on it when I get back over here.
doesn't like humidity either. So
Oh, then it won't do good over here. I will tell you,
that's what I'm saying, man.
I'll have to work on it right away. I have a room set up now because the humidity is the worst here. I thought Charleston, South Carolina was the worst humidity of any place I've ever been. The Philippines here it's so many, 10 times worse than the humidity. We have one room set up now, because my guitars, your guitars are something that will really let you know if you have
Oh,
a
yeah.
humidity or
Little
dryness
swell and
a situation.
contract,
Either
change
they'll swell, or they'll start getting smaller, and you start getting neck warpage, and then you'll start having all kinds of problems with it. And I've had several problems with several of my guitars, even to the point where there's mold growing on the strap, on the guitar strap, and on the
Wow.
controls, and on the face, on the paint, on the. I'm constantly having to. So what I did, we have one room dedicated now, which is what a lot of people do, even in the U.S. and Canada, any place that has some humid areas. We have one room set up with a dehumidifier inside there, and we maintain that 24 hours a day. But status of Ta'al. We keep getting little notices every now and then, like there's some small activity going on. But ever since the big eruption back in January of last year, we haven't had any major event from that yet. We get tremors every now and then, but I think that's normal after such a big event like we did back in January. Yeah. So anyway, getting back to my the guitar. So we have the room, we have a dehumidifier set up inside there, and I try to keep it down around like 65% or something like that, 65%.
Still
And then
elevated, but not like
I've noticed a
100.
big. Well, I can't get
raining.
it below. I can't get it below that with
Probably
all
can't.
with all the windows closed inside there and the door closed. It maintains about 65%. Normal. If you don't do that, it's normally 80% or above in
Wow.
every room inside the house here.
You get a lot
And
of
we don't run
infiltration, maybe.
Well, we don't run the air conditioning units here. Well, you got to realize when you build inside the Philippines, all the doors have like
An undercut.
3/8 inch gap underneath the bottom where air comes
Yeah,
inside.
an undercut.
Yeah, and normally, you know how we do everywhere else in the world, well, at least in North America. We put the seals underneath the door. So when your door closes, we almost have a totally enclosed house inside our house in the U.S. But the ones here, if you did something like that's counterintuitive because the humidity that's inside the house already.
They'll swell if they open the doors.
You have no, you don't have any airflow. You have to have airflow. Airflow is the only thing that gets rid of the mold inside the house. So it's kind of good to have those leaky windows and leaky doors around here to do that.
And ceiling fans.
Because you don't want the air. Yeah, we have lots of ceiling fans, and we use those instead of the air con.
The downside is you get all these critters coming in.
All right. I noticed again coming into the show when you first opened up and when Mike first came in this morning, your mic is down again. You need to adjust your mic up. Yeah, everybody is nice and hot.
How's that?
That's better. Yeah, there you go.
Mine was broken. Mine was flat out broken.
Yeah.
It was broken.
But I'm using a laptop today. I have all my stuff plugged into a laptop with a hub and everything because my big Kahuna computer is down, hard down, no motherboard.
I got the laptop right here, so I still haven't done that product review on that mic, like the mic you guys, Mike's got, Art's got. Oh, all of you, all three of you guys got one of those with the boom. I have one of those. I've been so busy. I've really been busy with the projects around here, trying to keep up with YouTube, trying to keep up with. We just had our annual general meeting of the HOA, and I'm on the board here. And that was a big. And we did that. for the first time. We did that on Zoom, very similar to what we're doing right here. And the reason we did it on Zoom was because of the restrictions, COVID restrictions and everything like that. We wouldn't be able to get everybody in a small room, so we did that, and it worked out really well.
Good.
I was really impressed. We had a couple little minor glitches, but the guy that was the host, he's also our secretary. He is a whiz in technology, and especially on Zoom, and he knew everything. He was bringing all these. He was doing crazy stuff. I'd never seen some. We were doing polling. You know, you have to do. You know, when you vote, somebody makes a motion, and he did it so fast. I got to learn how he did all that kind of neat stuff. He brings up this poll, and he does the calculation, and it was really good.
Right.
Wow. Well, guys, I'm gonna check out. My sister just called a little while ago, and I clicked hang up on the screen, but she knows I'm home. It's like 20 degrees outside, so
You got to tell
Mike.
your sister. You got to tell your sister not to mess with you when you're in an art show. You got
That's-
you got to lay the law down. Lay the law down, Mike.
That's right. That's right.
uh,
Mike, we gotta go
Take care,
offline,
Mike.
brother. We gotta go
Good
offline sometime, man.
Unplug that phone. Unplug that
right.
phone.
No, I'm gonna check out. James, good to see you. Good to.
Yes,
I don't
same
think I've
here,
ever
Mike.
talked to you yet before.
Yeah, I think we have. I think we have. I think we've been on here.
Did we?
One, I think so. You forgot about me already. God, is that the way it is?
But the
I see
story
how
was
this is
so long, I
going.
fell asleep.
All right, man.
Anyway, good to see you guys, Art. Thanks for the link, and
You're welcome.
I'll watch. I'll be watching. So,
Okay, cool.
and
Mike, nice
Hi.
catching up with you, man. It's
yeah,
been a
you
long
too.
time.
You too, Chuck, and James.
Yeah,
I hope you had a nice. I hope the waffles were good.
The
Pancakes.
pancakes, they were good. And you take care of yourself, man. I hope
All right.
you didn't catch anything crazy there. So
Right. Hopefully, I'm good.
hopefully we
what's
see you
up?
next week.
Okay. All right. Catch you guys later.
Cheers.
Bye.
Take care.
Peace out.
Oh, it's the
Mike's
the
a good
dynamic-
dude. I never.
The Three Amigos.
The Three Amigos. I was just gonna say that. You beat me to it.
That's hilarious.
Ah.
I can't believe Ken stopped by. I don't think he even knows how cool that was for me.
Well, Ken
Yeah, he
always
comes
has these
in once.
really neat toys. He always has these neat toys.
I'm
I
gonna
think
start
the last
busting
time I
out all
saw-
my old stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I think didn't he come on one time? Was he the one that came on and he was ripping apart and doing surgery on one of
Oh
his
yeah, he had one of his FPV drones was
yeah.
giving him fits, and Mitch
God.
from Old Guy in the Drone was helping him out how to fix it.
Yeah, he was probably having a problem with one of the motors or something like that. I
Yeah.
believe he was saying. Yeah.
Well, this is my new gadget. It's a little RC car. It's called the Stunt Elf.
It's like it can flip over. It can drive on either side.
Yes. Yep. And it's got special wheels to where it could go sideways.
Oh,
back
the
and
sidewind.
forth.
Wow.
And so
What's it do? It fires up
since-
the corners, like the two opposite corners, the sidewind. Is that what it does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for turning, does it basically have the wheels turn faster on one side or one corner to make your turns?
Thinking, yeah.
Mhm.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's no steering mechanism on it.
No, it uses
And
those
so
funky
it,
treads to drag it around. That is
yeah.
cool, man. When you gonna do a video on that thing?
I'll probably do that tomorrow. We're expecting to get some snow tonight, so it'll be cool to see how that does in the
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah, it'll slip around
Yeah.
a little bit. Okay.
Now I don't know, James, if you saw my latest video that I just released a little while ago of the JJRC Twist RC car. I ran that through the snow.
I saw one. Oh, I saw one. No, a couple of weeks ago. You had one. You were outside your apartment there, and you were doing
well,
some
I did
testing.
a new one a couple days ago when we got a couple inches of snow, and then when I got home from work, most of the snow was gone, but there was still a nice patch of snow on the lawn outside my apartment.
I can't figure this thing out. There's always some type of a technical thing going on here. I wanted to share. Every time I come on your show, I always want to share something. And what I want, I think I know how to do this. I think I figured the solution. Let me try this. I want to share, and you do trivia. You always, I got it right here. Now I want to show you. I'm going to share this with you. Don't show it up on the screen yet. And those from the Philippines will definitely right off the bat. And I don't know if you have anybody in here from the Philippines watching right now.
Okay.
But I want you to put this up on screen, and okay, you did. And I want somebody to identify this fruit. This is actually a fruit.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Well, you've been to the Philippines, so if you've been to the Philippines, you should recognize it right off the bat. Well, I will tell you right now. While we're waiting for somebody to do it, maybe in the comment section, while we're waiting for somebody to put something in the comment section, I will tell you this is on one of my fruit trees in the backyard, and I went out there yesterday, and I didn't realize this because stuff just pops up without me even knowing. I've got like about 15 of these on this one tree right here. So,
oh boy.
Nobody's chiming in the comment section. I'll give it just a little bit more time. How about you, Chuck?
I'm clueless.
We have to
know what it is.
We have to disqualify Art for right now because I'm sure he probably knows what it is.
I don't know. I was trying to figure out what the heck it was.
The grumpy vlogger. Pantene? Is that how you pronounce that? No, it's not. It's not that. It's not.
Yeah, that's Pantene. That's
is it
Robbie's funny. My wife probably knows. That's
everybody's grabbing their wife right now.
No, that's not why Robbie said that.
Chris says breadfruit.
No, it is not chocolate. It is not chocolate. Next, we'll take one more if somebody wants to just make a wild guess. I like that. Is there such a thing? I don't know. Anyway, Art, what do you think it is?
I think it's a jackfruit.
Well, 10 toes, and you are really close. It is a jackfruit. In the Philippines, they call this langka. And let me show you the tree. Let me show you the tree it comes off of. I'll stop sharing this one, and I'll share. I took a couple of pictures so you could kind of get a idea. This is the tree and about 15 other ones of these. And you're looking, it's right now, that's very small. What you looked is probably only 3 inches, about 3 inches long. And then I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to show you, I just pulled down an image this morning from Google of what it looks like on the outside and the inside when you're ready to eat this item right here.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what it looks like. This is but this is a very small. What you're seeing here that I captured because I think somebody just wanted to put a very beautiful looking display of a jackfruit, but it is huge. I will tell you the jackfruit here will grow. I'm going to say 24, 30, about 32 inches is how big. Wow. They grow so big. What they'll people do here because we have such a problem with insects here. What people will do as it starts getting to a small step, about the size of the one that last picture that I showed you, people will take a bag. It's normally the bag that you get your fertilizer in, or you'll get chicken feed or whatever it is. It's a huge bag. It's like a 50-pound bag, and they'll take it and they'll wrap it around the fruit and they'll tie it where the stem goes to the fruit to protect it from any predators, birds or insects and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it'll sit there like that for about 3 months. I'm going to guess about 3 months. And then when you open it, it's this huge. I'm telling you, it's huge. And they cook it either. I don't know how they cook it. They cook it. I've never watched them cook because I don't like the cooked version. Most of the Filipinos, it's a delicacy for them. They love it. Whenever we have fiestas and things like that, they always serve
Right.
it during the fiestas, during big events. But the fruit in itself on the inside, that's the way I like eating. I like eating it right out. There's some pits
Yeah.
inside of it, little seeds and stuff like that. But the fruit it's a good tasting fruit. So anyway, that was my share of the day. I just wanted
And,
to.
and that's what's
Nice.
used in Turin.
I think that's
Use-
correct.
Jackfruit and banana.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yep.
And speaking of bananas, our bananas are doing great here. I should next week maybe I'll take a picture of the
There
Sabah
you go.
that's on the one I put on my neighbor's lot right behind is John. He asked me to put both neighbors, Corey up here and
Right.
over there behind us. They asked me to put whatever fruits, bananas and papayas and stuff like that. So they're started. When they start building, they already have stuff established. And they're great. I'm probably 25 foot tall is the one I'm looking at right now with the bananas on
Wow.
the backside of the house. So they're doing great.
And those banana trees, they grow fast.
They grow really fast, and they're so easy to grow around here. Well, you know what? They're easy to grow anywhere. Do you know in Charleston, I'm going to say about 30 banana plants around my yard. The only thing is in Charleston, in North America particularly, because of the climate, a banana plant. If you plant a banana plant here in the Philippines, in about 5 months, you're gonna start having bananas. You'll start having bananas. And it depends on how long the growing season is and how much hours of sunlight and all that you get. And they can't freeze. So in Charleston, we go below 32 degrees. We go below freezing point. When it goes below the freezing point, then we won't get bananas from that. In Charleston, because we have about 8 months of regular growing, and then everything kind of does what, brown grass and leaves fall and
Yeah.
everything like that. But if you can go through a winter without a hard freeze, and you can go 2 seasons with bananas, you get bananas inside Charleston, at least in our area. And we're on the coast, so it's really mild on the coast. You go up inland, further inland, like in Columbia, South Carolina, or anywhere, maybe 30 or 40 miles, and I don't think anybody's going to get any bananas back inside there.
Well, at least you haven't had the deep freeze like we had here.
No, last night was our closest thing to a deep freeze. I think we got down to about 20 degrees last night. C, which is probably, I don't know, was that like
Yeah,
70,
you could say that.
68? So, yeah.
60 something, 65.
I don't know. It was cold. It was
Low
cold.
60s.
We closed all the
Cold.
windows.
Cold. It's all relative.
Mm.
Art, where are you at right now, temperature wise?
Let me check.
I'm checking myself on my phone. We are at 24 Fahrenheit.
Well, we were up to about 35 earlier today. And
Yeah, we
we're
reached
38
31.
right now.
Yeah, see, Tento's
Ooh.
put 20 C is 68. So we were probably down last night between 68 and 70 Fahrenheit. And when you get acclimatized to this type of
Acclimatized.
acclimatized,
Acclimatized.
70 degrees Fahrenheit is like the ice age around here. And that's,
Yeah. Yeah, when I
It's
was
all
there
relative,
4
you get-
years ago, right at this time, my girlfriend, it's like low 70s, and she's wearing like a sweatshirt, and I'm like going,
yeah,
man, this is perfect weather. And
yeah.
she's bundled up like she's freezing. And I'm like,
Yeah, I'm in a t-shirt and shorts and what they call slippers here. We call flip-flops in the U.S. And you see all the tricycle drivers. They're wearing jackets and hoodies and everything like that when they're doing all their stuff out there. But that's because they're used to this temperature right here. And if it just drops a few degrees, it's like really freezing to them.
yeah, it was 4 years ago. This day I was in Puerto Galera, Mindoro,
Ooh.
Philippines.
Well, you guys, it's even warmer because you guys are even further south. You're closer to the equator than we are right here, down in that area.
Yeah. hmm Yeah, because
GDS said
we're
hello.
just
Oops,
across
sorry.
straits from Batangas City.
Yeah, Batangas City. When you get to Batangas City, then pretty much everybody has to catch ferries to
Yeah.
go to the next island. They either go down to Palawan or go to anywhere on the island of Visayas. So,
hmm
or you can drive up to
Yep.
Manila, catch a flight like what we did when we went to Palawan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll be doing when I come to the Philippines. Hopefully later this year, I'll fly down to. I'll either go to Davao first and then go over to Dipolog to see my girlfriend and then come back, from one of those two cities.
Well, how
Hopefully we can travel again.
you said your girlfriend is related to one of the property owners that they haven't started building yet,
Yeah,
or a couple two lots
Christopher
down from
and
us.
Nelia. They're
Yeah.
cousins.
Yeah, they're cousins. They're
And I
cousins.
met-
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Nelia's cousin. I met Christopher and Nelia 4 years ago down in Puerto Galera. And they were staying at the same hotel where we were staying.
Wow.
And we met them. We talked to them a little bit on the ferry going back to Batangas City. And the gal that I was with, I was engaged to for a while, and then when that fell apart, Nelia said, "Well, I've got this cousin, and she's on Facebook, and we got talking. And,
One thing led to
she
another.
seems like a
Yeah.
pretty nice lady."
Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Oh, speaking of travel, because I always tell you if I hear anything about updates on travel, I keep forgetting to release this stuff on.
Yeah, I heard Duterte is opening up for tourists.
They're opening certain things up. I'm kind of
I
confused.
think starting March 1st.
Wow.
I'm kind of. I think. Yeah, but I don't know. I suspect though you're still gonna have to go through the quarantine, the mandate. I know you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to go through a quarantine. You're gonna have to go through a quarantine because let me tell you, I'm a resident here. I'm a permanent resident, and this was the update I was gonna tell you about our. We have the SRRV, Special Retirement Retirees Resident Visa. Anyway, I kind of feel we got kind of a little discriminated against here because all of these other visas that you have for the people getting permanent residency over here, the 13A through the 13G, all these crazy visas, they've kind of opened things up. Although you still, even though you're returning to the Philippines, if you go abroad and you come back to the Philippines, you still have to do your mandatory quarantine in an approved hotel that they have a list of hotels that you have to stay in. The SRRV, it was singled out from all of the other visas that they have over here that we have to have one additional document that has to go through the Department of Foreign Affairs. It's like let me see if I can. Ness gave me a link about what this what. Yeah, but it's some type of. It's like a waiver that you have to get, and you have to put together a whole package, and you have to send it to the Philippine Retirement Authority. And what do you know? Do you remember what that's called?
Re-entry permit
Re-entry permit.
Re-entry permit.
from the DEA.
Re-entry is that? It's a re-entry permit that you have to have. Well, what's going on here? I'm hanging myself. Oh my God.
Don't do that.
Oh.
I was kind of hoping once people get the vaccine that they won't have to quarantine when they travel.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that as well. But.
Because what the hell's
so
the difference? I mean, if you, hopefully, because otherwise there's no point in me going to Scotland in September. It's kind of a bust.
Yeah.
You can't spend a month. You can't spend like 2 weeks before, 2 weeks there, and 2 weeks after. Yeah, like I have that kind of vacation time. Nah.
Yeah.
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 Same here.
And it's expensive. And something I will tell you something that was really surprising that we have to make sure that we investigate before we do our travel is some people are capitalizing on this requirement to stay in these hotels. Some of the hotels are saying basically when you book it, you normally book a room. Like if you're married, you and your wife book a room together. Some of them are saying no, that you have to be in a room and your spouse has to be in a separate room, so they get double the amount inside there.
No.
Yeah, and the way
that's-
the way we found out about that, we saw some people writing down. I don't know if it was on Facebook Messenger or they were sharing their experience of what happened to them, and their advice is make sure you have good clarification on how the accommodation worked on the hotel that you picked when you come back for your. It's I don't know if it's 6 days or 7 days or 8 days. There's so many days minimum that you have to stay in the quarantine. So we're in. And the more information I get on that, I'll pass that on as well.
I
But
wonder if,
that's
well, I'm just disappointed. If you have two different rooms, like you and your wife are in two different rooms, can you have conjugal visits? Or
and like what are they monitoring? Do they have a guard standing outside your door? They have a
be a long
COVID
2
guard.
weeks.
You go out the balcony and you sneak over on the other balcony.
You're walking along the edge of the balcony.
Yeah, kind of like I Love Lucy when she was out on the ledge.
Uh,
Oh,
I
that's
miss those
funny.
episodes. Yeah.
I forgot about I Love Lucy. Oh man, that's taking me back. Damn.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, I got some good news the other day. I got an email from Google. I'm actually getting paid.
Hey,
Yeah, good
Yeah.
deal. Oh, wonderful.
congratulations.
So I should be getting my check in the bank in the next few days.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have it set
Oh.
up for automatic deposit? You give them your
Yeah.
account free? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Works very good. Works very good.
Hmm.
I have a long ways to go before I get to that point, I think.
Yep, you need 1,000
Long.
subscribers and 4,000 watch hours.
But at least you have a goal. Yeah, at least you have a goal. So just
I have a goal.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
good. You'll get there. I know you will, and I know both
Gotta
you
keep up.
guys. Yeah, yeah. I know
Yeah,
I know your channels will grow. And I hope we
Need
keep
more
growing on
content.
our channel too. Yeah.
Yeah, I have had a lull. I should be doing a whole video on my computer build because the new motherboard shows up tomorrow, and then
There you
I
go.
bought this new case. I bought a Cooler Masters C700M. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's colossal. It's like, well, it's
Well, that's
sitting
what-
next to me. It's
Yeah,
huge.
you should do that. You should do that. You should do the detailed, give explanations, do your build, and compress it down. I'd like to see that. I really like the techie stuff. I am really into the tech, and I'm really into the techie stuff when somebody goes into the detail and they take the camera and they bring it right up on the component, because I don't do very good with reading instructions. I hate reading instructions. I learn
Yeah,
either
yeah.
by doing with somebody. If somebody's my teacher and we work together, I watch how they do
Same
it.
here.
But it's a visual kind of thing. And what I don't like about a lot of the YouTube videos, and they call them how-to or DIY videos, but you go to them and you're like, they show you, and their hands are like you want to see
Blocking
me put
everything?
this. You want to see me put this handle on this cup, and they've got their hand over here, and they're like, they put it on there, and that's how it's done. And you're like, I didn't see anything you did on there. How did you? What's a special
Yeah.
technique you need to do for turning that screw in a certain way, or popping off that little cap, or removing that clip? I hate when they do that. That's why when I do my videos, I pride myself on the DIY videos that I do, that I'm very intricate and very detailed, and I get a lot of good responses back from that people say that, because I do my DIY videos just like I did my instructional courses when I used to teach as a contractor, and I was teaching how to do whatever, use an application, fix a component or something like that. I go into that mindset, and it seems to work
Right.
really well.
Cool.
Well, I might give it a whirl. It's going to be hard. This case is very customizable, and I'm keeping it pretty simple. But holy crap, there are a lot of screws and stuff. I mean, I'll
Well,
probably get into more detail on the parts that confuse me. I'll get into details on the things that trip me up more so than
You,
the other stuff's pretty, routine. With a tower is a tower for the most part.
Chuck, you should
Correct.
watch. You should watch a couple of my videos. The one is replacing. I think it's replacing the battery inside an iPhone, and one is I have a tablet. It's a really big tablet that's used in the medical industry. I did an upgrade that even the company that I bought it from didn't think you could do the upgrade. They yeah, they said no, you can't. They said no, it's not compatible. And then I said, okay, why? And they really couldn't explain to me why. So I did
So you
some
did that
research.
anyway.
On the Intel chipset that was inside there, and I looked to see all the compatibilities, and I said it should work, even though the company that owns it says it shouldn't work. They're not the one who designed the components on there, and I did the update, and it shows those little intricate, every little tiny screw that you need to do, everything you need to do with separation inside there. So maybe take a look. I think you'd like watching it. I think that tablet was called Motion Computing. It was a motion computing tablet.
right.
But I love doing those DIY things, and I'm kind of Ness keeps telling me you got to quit doing these things and not showing everybody, because that's why I used to do two or three videos a week. Now I'm a little bit slower because sometimes I get to doing something I'm like I really need to get this project done. I need to get it, and when you do vlogging, it takes a while to set up your cameras, do all the things.
Yeah, it does.
Sometimes it takes more to do the vlogging portion than it actually does for the project that you're working on. And I've let so many of those projects go by that would have made for some really great videos. As a matter of fact, upcoming videos. And Chuck, you might like it. Oh, Art, you would too. I bought on Lazada. I bought on Lazada a Fishman. And I think it's a Chinese OEM. I'm not gonna say knockoff, because I think it's where Fishman buys it from. I think it comes from their manufacturing plant in China. So the one that I purchased was, I have to go back and look at the price. I'm gonna say $25-$30 at the most, and it's I think $200 or $249 on Amazon.com for the same. So I'm going to do a video on the installation, cutting the hole in the guitar. My old preamp went bad on my Cort. I have two Cort classical guitars. That's what Ness and I use for practicing before we actually go to the electric guitars and do our jams with our drummer and things like that. But one of the preamps went bad, the original Cort, and I was going to try to replace it, but nobody had. Yeah, that's what I have. The motion computing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's the one. You should check that one out. That's a really. Thank you very much, Robbie. Anyway,
Yeah.
where was that? Oh, the Cort. I couldn't get the Cort preamp. No place in the Philippines has the replace. They have They show it, but it says zero balance. I have a feeling Cort is not supporting that anymore. I don't even know if you can get it from Cort. But what I did was I looked for a compatible equivalent or better, an upgrade. And Fishman is one of the best on the market, I think, for the price. And I ordered. And I said to myself, when I saw it on Lazada, they showed two pictures. They show a picture of the face cover, the face plate of the Fishman preamp that goes on the top of your guitar, and it said Fishman on it. With the registered trademark and all that kind of stuff inside there. And they showed another one right next to it. That was the faceplate with no name on. I said, well, that's what they're going to send me, because there's no way that I can get something at 1/10 of the cost, and it be an original Fishman. And it came in an OEM box, all brown, nothing on the outside, but on the inside, it had all the Fishman paraphernalia, the advertisements, the instruction sheet, just the same exact way that you would have got it if you ordered it with the full package. Without the OEM brown box. So that'll be an interesting DIY video, doing the installation, cutting the hole, drilling the hole for the peg, for the 1/4 inch in the bottom. I've done it before. I've done it so many times. It's not that difficult. I'm just waiting on. I ordered some other things on Lazada. The tools I ordered to do this cost me more money than the preamp. I ordered like a Dremel tool because I wanted to use a little saw to cut the hole instead of using
You didn't
a
have
jigsaw.
one? You didn't have a Dremel?
I do. I have all of that stuff in the U.S. in my garage.
Okay.
I have everything. I have everything you could possibly ever want in my garage in the U.S. But they're all 110. Everything is 110, and I don't like using transformers. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to slowly rebuild.
Get a cordless Dremel.
Yeah, I could do that too.
Cordless Dremel.
Yep.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that on Lazada. Yeah.
I think they exist. I don't know how long they'll run, but usually you don't use a Dremel for an extended period of time. It's usually just small little jobs.
It's small, very small jobs. Yeah, very small.
Yeah.
And like for that one, that's a 5-minute job to cut the hole out once I get the template and I see the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that'll be an interesting one. So
I think it's a Dremel.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say use a Dremel to cut out wood to mod the subwoofer for my computer. The subwoofer dissolve. But yeah, they're handy for the little stuff.
Yeah. I got another project. I actually might even start on it today. I don't know. I ordered some polycarbonate panels, 4x8 sheets of polycarbonate, and that's normally here in the Philippines. It's a dual layer with like a hollow section in between. And what they use it for is for awnings. They use it for the awnings on the side of the house. For patios and stuff like that. That's a big use for it over here.
Doesn't it get cloudy though? It crazes and stuff because that's Lexan, right? Polycarbonate is Lexan, or Lexan is the GE trade name for it, I think. Yes, no.
I don't know.
Think so. Clear, right? It's clear.
No, they have no. You can get clear. It can come in any tint. It can come in brown, blue, green, red, yellow, clear. Yeah. They have so many, and this is the one. It's like a wafer. The ones that they have over here, and it's got a top and a bottom layer, and I'm exaggerating because it's probably only 3/16 of an inch, maybe something like that. It's very thin. So we'll say this, and then there's in between each one of the layer. There's a good layer on top, goes here, over, and it's hollow. So you could actually blow through from one side to the other, and it just makes it very light. It gives us a slight insulating factor if you're using it for a roof inside there. But that's what they sell in the stores. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know Lexan doesn't like UV. It breaks it down over time. Like Corvette transparent tops are coated because Lexan is so vulnerable. It'll get like crazed. It'll get like looks all crackly kind of when the sun starts to cook it.
Well, maybe I don't know.
That's the clearer version of it. That's
I don't know if that what'd you call it? Lexan?
Lexan is like, or Lexan, yeah, a tomato.
Lexan.
Yeah,
Lexan. I don't know if that's like the equivalent to when you say I have a photocopy machine. I call it Xerox if that's a trade name.
Yeah, same thing.
Like that.
Yeah, or Kleenex or anything like that.
So I don't know. I don't know where these come from. All I know is you have to in the Philippines. You have to have something that is really UV resistant. That is, and a lot of the stuff that they sell over here is not. Like I talked with Art before about the umbrellas I ordered on Lazada. Now it's not acrylic. It's definitely not acrylic. Definitely, and because you have to be real careful when you're cutting the difference between something that's acrylic or plastic and the polycarbonate. Polycarbonate cuts very easily with a jigsaw, a circular saw. You can score it on both sides and pop it and crack it like that. Acrylic, you have to be very careful. I would never use a circular saw on acrylic because of its shattering effect that you can have inside there. You can actually get hurt. It's a safety factor inside there.
So it's really brittle.
It's brittle. It's brittle.
Acrylic is brittle.
Yeah.
It doesn't have toughness. I guess let's say it doesn't have toughness.
And I know from experience, so I will never do that again.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
speaking of the polycarbonate, I
Bedroom
don't
one
know if
piece.
I don't know if it's that name brand, but I know it's a standard around here. Many people use it for having a little bit of a roof, either on their patio or lanai that they call it over here. But I might do that project today. We'll see. I have so many projects, so many.
Well, I just picked up a couple laptops from a business, and
Hopefully yours works better
well,
than mine.
one's a Lenovo Think. Well, they're both Lenovo ThinkPads. One's an i5, and then the other is an i7. And well, whoever installed the Windows 7 on it, because there is a way where you could get through the password and get Windows working. But
Well, we talked about this
who?
last time, Art. I think we
Yeah.
touched on this last time. Did you reset the CMOS or something to break through the
No, what
password?
I did is I uh, put in an SSD drive in. I just swapped it out, and I happened to have a thumb drive that had Windows 10, and boop, it worked.
Nice.
Yep, yep. So I got them
Fresh start.
both, or now have Windows 10. The i5 is a model T420, and it only has 4 gigs of RAM on it. So I just ordered another stick of sodium to pop in there and get it up to 8 gigs.
Ooh, as an old school laptop, if you can upgrade the RAM.
Yeah,
Like on
yeah.
my new HP, it's a Tiger Lake, so it's what 11th gen with the Evo graphics and all that stuff. But you have to pick how much RAM you want in it when you have it built because it's all soldered on the board. It wouldn't be so easy
Yeah.
as just
That's
popping in a
that.
new stick.
That's a problem with Macs these days. The
Yeah,
MacBooks is they're
yeah.
putting their features that they're putting in, they're integrating it onto
Hmm.
the motherboard inside there, and you don't have the option. So they tell you right at the beginning, if order what you think you're going to need because you can't replace there's certain upgrades that you can't do on it, and that's one of
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of the things.
Yeah.
The
But I
M2,
do.
the NVMe will come out. The NVMe will come out of them okay, but yeah, the RAM is usually it's on board and not upgradable. So you want to go get as much as you can when you order one.
I tell you, Art, I was really sad. I was really sad when IBM sold to the Chinese. They sold their company and they went to
Yeah,
Lenovo because
they're out Endicott, New York.
I really liked the original IBM, the ThinkPads that they had. I
Yeah,
really liked the feel was good. It was it was a solid laptop.
they were tanks.
I yeah, I kind of felt that IBM sold us out.
Yeah.
Well, they
But
did, and so did
well, he did, yeah.
Motorola. Motorola's Lenovo now too. Now it's
Yeah,
Lenovo-Rola, basic sort
yeah.
of.
Well, I know a lot of these companies are responsible to their shareholders, and the consumers are secondary. But I really wish IBM would have stayed and continued going because that was a very comfortable laptop. It was a very comfortable. I liked the feel of the clicks of the keys on the
Yeah.
keyboard, and then when
The
they
mouse was
changed,
pretty ingenious. That they were the
oh
ones that developed the little mouse in the center between like the G and the H or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
around there
oh
somewhere.
the other
Little
little button, the
eraser
little red button, the
things.
little red button inside
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
I
I
called it
like that.
something that I can't say on here, but yeah, it's genius.
Yeah.
And then Dell copied it, but
And then they've got
International
that
Business
little
Machines was in
touchpad.
Endicott, New York. I went to SUNY Binghamton. They were right down the road. I had a classmate who lived right. I used to drive by IBM all the time to go to his
Mm,
place.
yeah.
Good old
Well, this
days.
is an older one because it doesn't have an HDMI output on it. It has the old VGA output on it.
Nice, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
has an old bomber. Probably has a serial port on it then too. Does it have a serial port? Like a 9-pin serial?
No, no
No?
serial port, but
Hmm.
it has it's got SATA ports on it, which is interesting. Oh, and they both came in with docking ports,
Uh,
so I've got a docking station for both of them. which is cool. So it has like on the back of that, it has 6 USB ports, and it's got an Ethernet port on the back, and then plus on the standalone laptop, it's got an Ethernet port on it, so I could plug it into the internet on it. But the Wi-Fi is built into it. So when I got it fired up, it found the Wi-Fi, and I was able to get online. And
Which which version of Wi-Fi does it have? Does it have at least like does it at least have G? Because G goes, it was like A, G, N, now AC.
yeah,
Oh,
I think it's
not
either.
now. AC's been around for quite a while.
AC's been around a while, yeah.
But they,
Well,
but they got
five
some.
years, been a while.
I've been, yeah. I got out of networking. It's been a long time. It's just a hobby that I do for just keeping the house on the Wi-Fi here. But I think there's been a couple of other sets since AC. I think there's been a couple of upgrades to the
Yeah, I think
to the
you're right.
protocol since then. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I haven't been keeping up with it. I think after I get
Just using it.
yeah, I think once I start getting all these other projects done, I think I'm going to get back. And networking is really, I really love doing networking way back when, and I want to get back into that again. You were talking about your USB interfaces.
I was just
Something that I wasn't happy with Apple that they did with all the the MacBooks, because you kind of get used to a certain standard, but
Yeah.
sometimes you don't really understand why some of these companies do. And I know a lot of it has to do with they want to make more money. They make something obsolete, and it drives the industry, and it forces you to buy accessories and peripherals and things like that. But
Right.
like this right here. Now, for me to be able, on my MacBook and all the new MacBooks, for you to be able to read your
need one of
little,
these. Oh,
yeah.
this is HDMI. I'm sorry. This is
So like
USB-C to
this
HDMI.
is my
That's not
little
what you have.
my little
Yeah.
SD card that I have. And this is actually from the drone. I did some drone flying yesterday, and so what they've done is that you have to use these dongles. Everything is dongles. Of course, remember back even probably maybe even in your Lenovo, you probably have an SD card slot. Do you have an SD card slot on that one? All the old systems.
I think there's a slot in there, but it didn't have the adapter where you could pop it out and then you could put a
Yeah.
regular size SD card, kind of like
Well, that's
Yeah.
this.
like
That's
this.
it. Yeah. This,
Right from a
this,
camera.
This, and then you
The
have
adapter. Yeah.
the little
Yeah.
adapter so that
Yep.
you can use your
Yeah. My
The
new
old-
HP has micro SD for the little slot in the side of the laptop.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't.
I don't need that dongle thingy.
Yeah, I don't know why
That
Matt.
dropped
did-
Apple, man.
Why?
Gotta go back
No,
to-
I'm not. Yeah, I get angry. I get angry sometimes. I guess, and some I tell Ness all the time. I keep saying, I bet Steve Jobs is rolling over in his grave when they
He
do
is.
when they do certain things or they don't do certain things, because
He
I will tell
standardized
you
everything.
one
He
of the most
standardized everything.
yeah, he did, but it was all about innovation. He set the standard for a lot of things that everybody else copied later on because it was such a great idea. And I'm not saying he did it himself. And I know there's a lot of discussion that goes about how he ran his company. He was pretty aggressive, but the thing was they moved forward. They moved forward so fast and became one of the most profitable companies in the world. But when he passed away, and they got the new CEO there, I think they're living on a lot of the laurels of the successes of the past of Apple. There hasn't been a lot of innovations until the past few months with the M1 chip. The M1 chip that takes place. They built
that's
their own
pretty-
their own
that's-
processor. And it's
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's amazing what they've done, because we kind of remember it used to be maybe 10, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, maybe even longer. It used to be a standard about, remember how you're
Thanks, Art. Thanks for sharing. Drone Shots has been saying some cool stuff, and Art's been flashing them up here. And yeah, You was talking about the
Uh,
16 gigs of RAM. That's exactly the max I could get on my
Yeah.
HP when I ordered it in December.
But talking about I want to talk about innovation though. But there was a term that was used for the anticipated advancement of things like clock speeds on your processors, on your GPUs for your video, your memory, and it was like every year, like your processor speed would jump up from such this to the next one. It would double and it would double and double. But we kind of got to a point where we kind of exceeded
off.
well, because we've exceeded physical limitations that we know of right
Yeah.
now. So I think if Jobs would have still been there, he would have done kind of what they did with the M1 chip that they
With the
have
M1
right
chip?
now.
Yeah, the
With
M1
the
chip
M1 chip.
actually is. No, that's serious. My buddy Keith and I
It's
were
it
talking
is
this
serious.
morning.
It is serious.
Yeah. That he thinks there's going to be a complete revolution now, revolutionary change, not evolutionary. It'll be a revolutionary change because of the M1 chip. Now, like AMD and Intel have to they got to get off their hindsides and come up with something serious.
Mm.
Because this thing is like, I was like, well, I was talking to Keith. I'm like, what's the point of this thing? Who cares? It's like, it's only good for video creators, which is good for us. But I mean, like the masses out there, they don't give a crap about video creating. Well, and Keith was like, well, Chuck, this is like their main bread and butter is Hollywood. And now they were losing Hollywood to IBM and AMD. And now they're bringing their base back.
Mm.
So with the M1 chip, because it's
Yeah.
so capable as far as, the whole thing with video rendering is cores, and
Yeah. Cores and threads. Yep.
yeah. So,
But what I'm talking about though, when you talk about innovation, is you get out of the paradigm, because sometimes you're stuck because a processor chip is made out of silicon, and all chips are made based on the same concept, the same type of materials. All they're doing these things, they're just making them smaller and smaller and smaller. They're finding manufacturing ways to do that. So the thing that you have to deal with when it comes to speed and advancement of processors is you have to worry about heat. That's the thing. It's size and heat.
Yes.
That's the thing that you're battling against all the time. But if somebody could come up with something, again, get out of that paradigm, reinvent the wheel, so to say, and come with a different type of a technology to get away from it. And it'll be done. It'll be done one day. I don't know when. Everything. You just got to find that genius to come up with a different concept inside there. Although I won't say Steve Jobs was a genius, but he was a genius of marketing and management the way he did. And genius is probably the wrong term to use.
no, he's a genius. He's a genius.
Yeah.
He made
Yeah.
it. He made technology. He made technology usable by anybody, not just engineers.
Yeah.
So that's his strong suit. That's how Apple became so great, because any normal person, engineers like me, we're not normal. Any normal person could go out and buy an iPhone or an Apple computer and just fire it up and go, oh yeah, that makes sense, and I can use that. And that's why you pay the Apple tax. That's why a MacPad costs like 4 times what a frickin' Samsung tablet costs, because you need one of these.
We had that conversation last week, so I am not going to reiterate why.
I'm just saying. I mean, I have a great deal of respect for Steve Jobs, God rest his soul, because he did that. He brought technology to the masses, and I'll say that over and over again. That's what he did. That was so awesome. And he standardized. The footprint of that iPhone was always the same.
Oh yeah,
you could always. So that made it easy for the third-party people to make stuff that worked with it. Worked right. I mean, like.
Well, just look when he worked in the basement with his partner, and they sit there. He did have a lot of he didn't know how to do it. He didn't have the technical skills to do that, but he was smart enough to hire somebody.
He knew what he had the ideas, and then he find somebody to help him make them come to reality.
And that's a key to a successful. That's a key to a successful business. Is you don't have to know everything. You just have to know how to pick the right people to delegate the authority to do all those things and make your business thrive. You have to pick the right people. And I wonder now, and it's probably a lot of people have gone down this road as to why Steve Jobs picked Tim Cook to be his successor with the company. And I have a feeling he knew the limitations of Tim Cook, but I also think he knew that Tim Cook would still be faithful to his vision to make the company continuing to be successful inside the future, even though he doesn't have a lot of the management skills that Steve Jobs had. So I think that's probably why he put him in that position. That's my 2 pesos.
Yeah. I still need to do I need to do like a review of this laptop that I'm playing with right now, because I think I have DaVinci on it, and I haven't really tried DaVinci on it. My speed editor just showed up with the full version of DaVinci like last week, and I've been meaning to hook it up and try it all out and see how it does compared to the.
Do you have the free copy of DaVinci?
Oh, like I was just saying, I bought the speed editor because it came with full DaVinci 17, so it was like $300.
Oh, you got the full. You got the what?
Well, it was like buy one get one
program.
free. Well, yeah, but they threw in the $300 speed editor, so it's kind of like buy one get one free. So I'm like, okay. So
Well, I kind of think they maybe even take a loss on their software on that, because their bread and butter is not the
it's all that
application.
gear. No, it's all
It's
that
the
gear.
hardware. It's that console, all the
Yeah,
stuff
it
that they
is.
have on. And
I'll tell you that,
I
'cause
mean,
my keyboard, the freaking $1,000 keyboard is like that's where they're making their money on all that stuff.
Yeah,
the hardware.
that's what.
Then they can
And
give
you
away
look, you look at it, and I drool every time I look. It makes you feel like you're sitting at the control of the Starship
Mancom, man.
Enterprise. Yeah,
Mancom.
yeah.
I love that keyboard. That keyboard is awesome. I mean, like I bought it and then I kind of regretted it for a little bit, but only the minute I started using it, the editing wheel on it and everything, I was like, no, this was good. This is good.
Well,
Yep.
well, I'm waiting on the 2,000 peso version on Lazada, so when that comes out, I'll pick that up.
There you go. Yeah, well, the speed editors, I haven't played with the speed editor yet, but it has the same wheel on it. And it's all Bluetooth. It's something that I could actually bring on vacation with me maybe and have it connect to my laptop wirelessly. And while my wife's ignoring me, I can edit the new clips I have for the day. Maybe.
Well, I want to be able. I want to have the hardware and the software that I can do some things. Like I watch Greg's show. Greg down in Australia, Oz by Drone, and I watched his show yesterday. He's got a pretty cool show, and what I like about his show is he brings on some really interesting topics about new technology, and he grabs them from the vendors that are actually showcasing their products and stuff like that. And he does a real good job talking it up. But what I like about some of the stuff that Greg does on his show is he has real good technology in the background for sucking the picture into the live stream that he's doing. Moving, it seems very seamless, but he has a pretty complicated setup that he has down there. And when it works, it's outstanding. It's pristine.
Technology is always great yeah.
Yeah, but when it doesn't work, and I've been on the show a couple of times, and actually, I think we had to cancel once or twice or something like, and reschedule because of a lot of the technology. And I think Greg also has to rely. I think his wife is his producer. Is his wife the producer?
Yeah.
His wife is the producer.
Cool.
And then he has other people from different places around. I don't know if they're around the world or they're down in Australia or whatever. But he relies on a crew, and it's just a little bit too technical for me. I need something mid-ground that's not so intuitive. Well, it is intuitive it is intuitive, very intuitive to learn. I don't need a learning scale that's completely vertical on a piece of software or a piece of hardware, but I want some good presentation. So I'm still looking for stuff like that. This using StreamYard works pretty good for what we're doing right now for the simple, but I want to do a lot of that fancy stuff, real neat, super duper fancy stuff that he's doing. Oh, Chris, my channel is My PI Dream. PI is for Philippine Islands. Thanks, Art.
Yeah, I put it too.
vMix. vMix.
Yeah, that's what I'm using right now.
That's what you're using? But you're not taking
And-
advantage of a lot of the features. Then I'm telling you, Greg he's got some crazy stuff he does, and it's really neat. Some of the tricks and the technology and the gizmo stuff that he uses on it. It's very, very good. It's put together very well. So if anybody-
Grumpy Vlogger is
Yeah.
one of his.
That's right.
guys
That's right.
on his-
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, he was
mentioned-
on there. He was on there yesterday. He was on there yesterday when I saw him.
And John Morris, I don't know if you know this, he's a pretty well-known drummer.
No, I didn't.
Really?
know that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Go check out his videos. He's got some on YouTube, and his brother is quite a musician as well.
Well, how do we find that, Art? Can John post?
Well, Lloyd might know how to find him. John Morris, I think, is how you find him.
Lloyd, you got a link? You got a link to John's
Yeah.
YouTube? Oh, I tried OBS before. That OBS was the first. As a matter of fact, I think Greg told me to use OBS.
I grabbed
I
OBS
tri-
just to tinker with a little bit. I haven't done
Yeah, I
much with it.
tinkered with it, but it's easy, but it's not as easy as StreamYard. There is more capability with OBS. I noticed on there, but I kept forgetting to do things, and I was getting confused. And you don't want to give anything that's complex to an old guy when it comes to live streaming, because that's it just
Not that old.
How old do you think I am, Chuck?
I feel like you're a woman now. I don't know if I want to answer the question.
That's okay. You told me the other day that you fell asleep on my videos, so
I'll
it doesn't
say
matter. We have that
mid-50s.
relationship.
I'll guess mid-50s.
I'll be 64. I'll be 64 in August.
You're doing all right. See?
Yeah, that's what
all
Philippines
attitude,
does
man.
to you. It's attitude, and
Attitude.
no stress. There's no stress here in the Philippines. So that's.
I just turned 61 last month.
That's
Yeah,
right.
100th show too. The
Yeah, we
birthday
celebrated your birthday show. That's right.
Yeah, that's right, and thank you very much for the shout out.
Yeah, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Okay, there's the link.
There's the link.
show.
I'm
There's the
gonna.
link. Look at
I gotta
that.
figure out. Yeah, let me copy and paste that.
Drummer in the hat.
There you go. I gotta tell you, I love anything that has to do with somebody doing music. I don't care if they're good or bad. I love going and watching people at least try. And I actually personally, Chuck, I like watching people who don't do the edits and do the fancy and the voiceovers and all the. I would rather watch somebody naturally jamming inside a small room inside their house with a few people getting together, even if they make mistakes. It doesn't. I enjoy that more than I do the polished edited stuff. I'll be honest with you.
So it's still cold here. My wife is busy working weekends. Maybe I should pull a trombone out. Then maybe we could pass it. We could pass a recording around and add to it or something.
Well, we gotta figure out the technology, how to do that. We gotta.
Somebody's gonna record the video, send the MP4 over, and then you play that while you actually record yours. I think I could put my Rode Wireless lapel mic might clip on the horn of the trombone, probably work
Well,
pretty good.
Well, if you have DaVinci, or even if you have.
I have
Oh, you
DaVinci,
you don't have a Mac, so you can't use that software. But you could probably put something together as long as you do a layer, or you send a layer. You get the video.
I can totally add another layer, yeah. Because I was saying,
create another layer
I'd
and
record
just-
me while I play. Yeah, with headphones, I'd hear the other one.
As long as the sync is good. If the timing on the two pieces of software that create the video are exact. I think that's where the problem comes in. If you don't have.
But you can drag your tracks. You can sync up the tracks. Just take a little bit of work.
Yeah.
You
Well, I'm not
know,
talking about.
one,
No, I'm not
two,
talking.
three,
I'm not
four,
talking.
then-
Yeah, that's what I do. I do a click track to get when I do multi.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. So you can sync them
That-
up. Yeah, it's the only way
Yeah,
to do
that's
it.
not the synchronization I'm talking about. I'm talking about the timing of the entire clip. If you have something that is 500
Lost my arms, I
milliseconds,
think.
500 milliseconds off, 5 seconds into the clip, and it continuously does that. But you might be in sync in the first 3 seconds, but by the
Yeah.
time you get to the end, you might have to really do a lot of I don't know how you would do corrections on something like that with time. Yeah. Anyway, we can do it. I'm sure we can do it. But we just have to start with a test track. We'll do something test and we'll see how it works. And if it doesn't work, we're going to something different. So we have to figure out, because you're doing trombone, right? Trombone?
I think I'll do trombone again.
Trombone.
Yeah.
We got to figure something where you can fit trombone, because there's not a lot of songs that you can fit trombone into, like a classic rock tune.
It's lame by itself. It needs friends.
Well, you can play Chicago.
Yeah, but
well,
that's a whole horn section. They have
That's
the
a-
trumpet and the trombone.
Yeah, that's almost all brass. That's almost an all brass type.
That's
of
pretty awesome,
section.
man. That's like,
Yeah.
I love their stuff.
Bum, bum,
Yeah.
bum, bum, bum.
We have to find something that has a
25
and
or 64.
There's something I know there's something out there. I know there's something out there. But the thing is, if you put trombone in, I think you're going to need another brass section to go inside there to complement the trombone inside.
Who out there in the audience is going to
Yeah.
play like trumpet or something?
Well, I have a
Saxophone.
Well, if I had it-
steel that I'm going to learn how to play.
Yeah. If I had a
never learned how to
trumpet, if I had a trumpet, I could do
That's
that. 'Cause
right.
I know-
You did.
But I don't
you
have a
gotta get your
trumpet
lip
here.
back. You have to get
Yeah.
your lip back. Tijuana Brass, nice. Yeah. Yep. Remember that? That was Herb Alpert, right?
Herb
Alpert.
Albert and the Tijuana Brass. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just playing them in the backyard here the other day. I
Nice.
noticed,
Actually, I like the Earth, Wind, and Fire horns section when they partnered up with Phil Collins before Phil Collins completely became totally a wuss. It was kind of good stuff.
Yeah, I liked him. What was Phil Collins in before he became Phil Collins? Well, I guess he was originally Phil Collins. And then
What? No, he was
No.
before Genesis. He was
Genesis. Yeah.
Well, he was the drummer of Genesis, and then when Peter Gabriel left, they were looking for a lead singer to replace him, and they couldn't find one. And then Collins sang, and like, hey, that's not so bad.
It's not so
And
bad.
it just
Yeah.
kind of.
Well,
But he was. Yeah.
He did have a lot of good. I won't say a lot, in my opinion. He had several good tunes when he went solo.
His first couple of solo efforts were really, really good. Face Value was incredible, right? And then when he had his nasty divorce with his ex-wife Jill, that created the creative juices for Hello, I Must Be Going, and that's just a great Screw You album. That's just but that has all the Earth, Wind, and Fire horns on it and stuff. Cannot Believe It's True and Cannot Believe It's True. Anyway, that's really good stuff. In fact, that was when he toured with his band was called the Hot Tub Club. So it was Phil Collins and the Hot Tub Club when they toured Hello, I Must Be Going. And I didn't get to go because my parents wouldn't let me go because my grades weren't good enough and they were punishing me. But they sold ties. It's the only concert where Phil Collins always wore a tie on stage when he was solo for the band, right? And they had these gold and blue ties, and it said Phil Collins, like his handwriting. Phil Collins and the Hot Tub Club. It was like gold and blue ties. So cool. I wanted to go just for the tie, just to get the tie. Anyway,
Well, we'll do something. As a matter of fact, we're actually starting to go into a new phase. Our drummer, we showed him, and we did a happy birthday thing at the end of one of our videos.
Right.
One or two or three videos back when we did a shout out. Our drummer's like, we're getting to. He was actually, a lot of people noticed he was sick. It had nothing to do with the COVID, but he was sick. He has a thyroid problem, and he had to run he was on some kind of wrong medication. We were really worried about him for a while. So the whole year for the COVID, I think he only came over one time in the whole year, and he had lost. I'm going to say he lost like 20, 25 pounds. And he just looked really bad, so we were concerned.
Yeah.
But he got onto whatever he got. Went to the doctors, and he's looking really good now. And what he said, he wants to start coming over on a regular basis. So probably once a week, once every 2 weeks, he's going to start coming over, and we're just going to start putting together a set list again, like we did before. And I think it's interesting. You know how things sometimes it's a coincidence, but I think there's a reason. There's a reason things happen. Right after he told us he wanted to start, we're getting the band back. We're getting the band. He
Blues
wanted to do that.
Brothers. Let's get the
Blues Brothers,
band
yeah.
back together.
Yeah. So when he said that, it was ironic. I got a phone call. Well, not phone call. It was iMessage. It was Messenger. On Friday night. There's a new club that opened up in Lipa, and the owner of the club is the son of a good friend of ours. And they invited us too late. They waited too late for that one thing, but they invited us. They had their grand opening had a really big band, a really good band from Manila that they hired to come down, and they invited us to come out there Friday night to jam with them. Unfortunately, they gave us the invite when the club had just the band that was open. The band was playing in the background, and it was like 8:30 at night, and Ness and I were already in our pajamas, and we're like, no, we can't do this.
Oh,
This is
man.
yeah.
Yo,
So, but
you had me. Sorry, James. You had me thinking when you started talking when the Blues Brothers reference came up. I was thinking, ooh, we could play the Peter Gunn theme. That's just epic.
oh, there's so many great. Yeah.
And the trombone works well in that one, but
There you go.
you need a trumpet though.
Yeah.
And there's no vocals on that one. It's all just instrumentation.
But that's okay. That's okay. Instrumentals are
Who's
good
playing?
too.
Who's gonna play bass? You need a bass
Yeah.
player for that one. Gotta have bass.
Ness plays bass. Ness is the bass player.
Okay.
Yeah, Ness is the bass player. She's one of the best bass players I've ever played with anywhere.
Slapping the
She studied.
bass.
If you tell her, if you ask Ness to learn a song and it's special to you, Ness will go. She'll download all the tabs on it, and she will. And that's the thing about the difference between I think the Philippines, a Philippine musician, and me as an American musician. I will wag any song. Yeah, I won't nail it exactly, and that's mainly because I'm lazy. But what she will do, she won't play it. She won't play it as a jam, and that makes me frustrated sometimes. 'Cause I like to jam. I really like to jam. But if she doesn't know the song, we'll get even with our drummer, just the three of us downstairs. I'll say, let's go ahead and jam to the song, and me and the drummer, we'll start out with the guitar and the drum playing, and Ness will walk away and go upstairs and start washing dishes or something like that. She's like, I don't know this song. I'm not gonna play it until I know that song. I'm like, just jam with it. Just jam with us. But what I was getting at, I think this is an opportunity for us to have somebody that we know that has and it's a club in a really big club district in Lipa. And maybe this will open the door and we can get back in, because I love playing music. I played live music for years, and I miss those. I don't miss the carrying all the gear and being the roadie.
Oh God, I hated carrying the trombone to school, man.
Yeah.
I got almost beat up a couple of times carrying that stupid thing on the bus.
Yeah.
This is not a cool instrument to be carrying on the bus in middle school. No, bad. Very bad.
I sympathize with you. Anyway, hopefully that'll open some doors for us, and we can actually get back into playing with some live music and some actual clubs around the area. I tell you what, I would play. I enjoy playing music so much. I would play for beer. I would tell you. I did. That's how I started. Open mic in Songtan, South Korea. The very first time I ever got in front of high humidity. That's right. The first time I ever got in front of it was on. I was invited to play up on stage. Can you handle it? I don't know if you have enough time. I got a story, but we'll save.
Oh,
we'll
here
save
we
this.
go.
No, I'm not gonna do it. No, we'll do it. We'll save this. But I won't remember. I won't.
Comfortable. He's good. He's good. Okay, he's good for another 10 minutes. We're good.
You're good? Are you good?
No. I said, don't let me speak for you, Art. I just it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to wait for another time? Because it's a good story. We'll wait for another time. We'll wait for the next time. No, I'll tell it next time. Just remember to remind me to tell the story about the first time I got up playing music in front of a live audience in Songtang, South Korea. And in the bar, and the name of the bar was Mr. Kim's Piano Bar. So Mr. Kim's Piano Bar. Remember that, because I won't remember it. I'll totally forget. I'll be.
Kim.
Yeah.
Mr. Kim, wasn't he in a movie or something? Or Mr.
I doubt this Mr. Kim was in the movie, but there was probably a movie with a Mr. Kim, because in Korea,
Mr. Kim.
In Korea, in South Korea, it's like 90% of the people are either last name is Lee or Kim. So if you go out and you go out into a crowded mall or something like that and you yell out, "Hey, Mr. Kim," you're probably going to have about 3,000 people turn their heads and look at you and say, "What? You're looking for me?"
Well, that's like true. My dad used to work with this really cool dude named Yash. He was Indian, and he used to kid about how, Al, you ever stay in a Hotel Patel? Because it's such a common name. It's like Smith.
Well, Kim is like you said there. Kim is like Jones or like Smith. It's like the name Smith.
Exactly. Smith and Jones. In the US. It's very much like Patel and like my last name Kovac. That's like Smith and Slavic and stuff.
And Sweden.
Yep.
Yeah, but my
common folk.
My landlord, when I was there, I don't know, I can't remember the rule, the way they do things, because I don't think the wife's spouse takes the surname of the husband, because my landlord's husband and wife was Mr. Kim and Miss Lee. That was our landlords over there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Very, very nice couple. Very nice couple. So,
Alrighty,
we'll save that story.
Give an opening.
Put a little bow on that. I want to thank you guys for coming and entertaining us, and I learn a lot of new stuff each time you come on, James. So thank you for coming, and
thanks, James.
I have a great time. I told you, Art, this is my stress. This is my stress relief for the week, even though I don't have a lot of stress here in the Philippines.
I texted Art earlier and said I was going through James and Art withdrawal. I hope don't cut me off.
All right, so let's call it a night. Thank you very much, and everybody in the chat, thank you for coming. Chris Wedgeworth, you'll be getting your toffee shortly. He was the winner last week of Valentine's Day 1 pound box of premium Enstrom's almond toffee.
Is it dental work compliant?
When you come back to the States, I need your address. I'm going to send you a box of almond toffee.
Well, I don't know. We don't have a return schedule yet, but I don't know. Maybe when we come back because Ness and I want to do some traveling. Maybe we'll head out to Colorado. Maybe we'll come by and stop by and see you out there. That's one of the things we definitely want to do. Ness keeps talking about doing some traveling. I don't know. It depends on the situation. And that's the thing. That might hold it. If we don't do it this year, we will definitely do it next year, because we try to travel back to the U.S. every year.
Okay. Yeah. Take care, everybody. I'll bump you guys out. All right, guys. Everybody in the chat, thank you very much for coming. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Lloyd. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for coming. It's good to see you. We'll catch you next week. And don't forget, we've got a drone meetup next month down in Sebastian, Florida, which should be a lot of fun. So I got my plane ticket, and all I have to do is get my hotel and my car get that situated. So have a great weekend, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.